Mayor and former U.S. Attorney Rudy Giuliani. Good to see you, Mr. Mayor. How are you?
Nice to see you, Sean.
A lot of people forget that you went after the mob, put your own life at risk. I remember those days. You have identified what I call the Rudy 15 or 16 now. I think it's gone up. And we'll put it on the screen so our audience can see. You think it goes way beyond what the FBI is doing here. When you hear they're expanding their investigation, that beyond a preliminary fact-finding, that's not good for her.
No, that's not good, and particularly the mention of 18 United States Code Section 1001. That's a big, big general statute. That's the statute Martha Stewart was indicted under, and it makes it a crime to give a false statement, not just under oath, but a false statement, for example, to an FBI agent or to an assistant U.S. attorney.
Danny Hester recently did that, and he's going to be sentenced. He pled.
That's a very serious crime. Now, I probably indicted 1,000 people under that statute. That's a very, very general statute. Any false statement, any misleading statement. But there are a couple that are really very, very tight in terms of fitting the facts of her case. There's 18 U.S.C. 1924, unauthorized removal and retention of classified information. You're not supposed to take it home with you, much less give it to someone who's going to put it in a garage. That's a crime if it's classified. It gets even worse. 18 U.S.C. Section 207 makes it a crime to in any way conceal a government record. And if she wasn't getting approval for this, then she will have violated those very specific statutes.
Could you imagine it? Now, I don't know what the FBI has or doesn't have, but if they were able to retrieve the 32,000 emails that they deleted one by one.
If any of those are government records, not just classified records, but government records, she would have violated 18 U.S.C. Section 207, which is concealment, removal, or mutilation of government records.
And wouldn't obstruction come into play because
well, then you have the Benghazi investigation going on at that very time. Even if it wasn't going on, if you anticipated it, but it was going on, then if you destroy records with the intent of trying to obstruct an investigation, and if any of those records have anything to do with Benghazi, then you would have obstruction of justice, as well as 1001.
And you have an outside chance you might have quid pro quo information if there are Clinton Foundation connections.
Well, the one that really troubles me is the $1.2 million speaking fee to Bill Clinton from UBS when she intervened on UBS's behalf. That's another specific statute that makes it a crime to interfere in an Internal Revenue Service investigation. And her call to the IRS was described as unusual.
Let me ask this question.
And then Clinton got $1.2 million.
Let's assume that the FBI completes its investigation and they discover that there's enough evidence to indict. And they bring this information to the Attorney General and the Obama administration, Loretta Lynch. And let's say that we can point and cite example after example of people who were prosecuted, who did go to jail, who did lose their jobs.
There are people that did.
They were interviewed before Congress, General Petraeus. So, and let's say they decide not to prosecute her because of her name or stature. She's running for president. What does that do to our criminal justice system?
Well, it hurts our criminal justice system. It probably means, should a Republican get elected, you're going to have that Justice Department put under investigation for obstruction of justice.
Wow.
I mean,
it's that profound.
Well, I mean, sure. I mean, look.
Another Clinton constitutional crisis.
No one is above the, no one's above the law.
Supposed to be.
Right.
Right.
These are serious things. If she didn't do it, then the FBI report would clearly indicate that she didn't. If she did, and frankly, I know Loretta Lynch. I believe if the FBI recommends prosecution, I believe Loretta.
You believe that?
I believe U.S. Attorney Lynch would. Attorney General Lynch will indict.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a very, very straight woman. Remember, I supported her.
I know you did, and I was surprised.
And I did because I saw her go both ways on cases. I saw her be fair in cases where you should prosecute, and I saw her even in a case where she was against us. She gave us the opportunity to speak to the Attorney General about it, and the Attorney General came out our way when Janet Reno was Attorney General. Not many U.S. attorneys do that. This is a very fair woman. So I have a lot of confidence in her.
Wow. Very interesting, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Coming up, well, you've been sending in your questions all day.